Hi, everybody. It's Ann Dickherber at On-Site Computer Consulting Services here in Wentzville, Missouri. And I'd like to welcome you to Opening Local Doors with OCCSI. During this podcast, our goal is to introduce you to local small businesses and their owners, because what we have learned after 31 years of being in this community and providing service to this community is that with every business, there are real people, real stories, and a lot of local impact for that business as well as for the community from that business. Today, I'd like to introduce you to Rob Jaycox of Paywise Solutions. Hi, Rob. How are you today?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank
Good.
you so much for coming and talking with us and allowing us to open the doors to your business as a local family-owned opportunity for folks to get to know. I understand small businesses are who you really can help the most with what you do,
Mhm.
as well as bigger ones. But tell me a little bit about how your business got started. How did you wind up in Paywise Solutions?
I was a director of operations for a collection agency. So in my real world, I was dealing with our card processor, all sorts of payments, about $40 to $50,000 a month in charges, fees for the processing costs. And so I tried to look for better ways of skimming that down. I had a side gig where we bought into a program that placed ATM, started adding on the credit card processing as well, terminals, POSs, all that. So I was doing that on my side gig. Well, after about a year and a half working for the company and working towards saving the company money, I got laid off. So right before Christmas, we had a side gig and I didn't really put a whole lot of effort into it. But then after that and being in my 50s, I was like, okay, I'm just going to take our side gig and run with it. I've got 20 years experience of dealing with processing companies. So I thought, yeah, why not see where this goes? And here we are today.
So tell me, as a business owner, why would I or when would I seek out Paywise Solutions?
As soon as possible, because I have partnered with a company that is out there to give everybody the correct solution. Not everybody is set up with the right thing. We hear from a friend or a family member, hey, you should try this, or this is a good deal, go with this route. But that's not always the right case. What I do is I find the perfect solution. And fortunately, 100% success rate on saving them money as well.
So if I'm a restaurant or if I'm a computer repair shop or if no matter what I have, you have a credit card solution for how I can take payments from my customers that will meet my individual business's needs.
That is correct. And not only just the credit card processing, but also checks as well with ACH out there that send invoices and want to be paid one way or the other. Do we have all the solutions, whether it's simple as invoicing all the way to kiosks? Doesn't matter what size business it is or what kind of business. We can cover every vertical.
So one of the things I find amazing is I've had conversations with you is you mean that with sincerity.
Mhm.
That, for instance, I know someone that you help with payments that owns a very tiny business. And I know people that you help that own much larger businesses. So from restaurants to what have you. But you and I have also talked about the people that are like the pop-up vendor
Mhm.
and how there are solutions for that are not only safe, but also affordable
Yes.
for them. What about e-commerce? Is that something you can help with for folks that just sell online?
Yes, Shopify, WooCommerce, so they have integrations for all that. So they just go in the back door and their own API and set everybody up exactly the way they want it.
So the big save is in the processing fees and the percentages that we pay,
Mhm.
right, as businesses. So it's well worth, in case you guys have missed that part of this conversation, it's well worth having a conversation to save yourself those processing fees. And then many places, I don't know about other people, but I know for us and for many other businesses, people have started charging back some of those processing fees because it really is a convenience. But when you do the Oct debit or the ACH, for the person paying the bill, that's also a much cheaper solution as well as for the business receiving the payment.
Mm.
So is that something that you work with businesses to understand how they can charge some of those fees back, Rob?
Yes. 100. So I always try to educate business owners as to not try to gouge the customer with too much, but also to do just enough where it covers all your bills so that, each month that's one less bill that the business owner has to worry about.
Well, and the way I look at it is if I'm going to use a credit card, I would rather pay a reasonable credit card fee than to have you raise your prices overall, which is sort of what a small business faces, right?
Hmm.
So if I have to pay, say, a 3% fee, or I was paying a 1.5 and my credit card fee is going to 3, now to be able to make that up, do I raise my prices 2% so I'm coming out the same? It's all about profit and loss,
Hmm.
right? So from to me, from a bookkeeping standpoint, it would be easier to recoup those funds from the processing fees than it would be to raise the cost of something so
Exactly.
that you're not pricing yourself out of that market. Because I think it's becoming the acceptable norm to charge back those credit card fees.
And that's one thing I try to educate business owners on as well, is that a lot of people are stuck with thinking that they have to do it, that that's just the way it's always been done, or that's the cost of doing business, which a lot of times it's not fair, especially in today's world, where if I'm going to get made whole, if I pay the fees because I get 3% cash back and you're charging me 3, it's a wash for me. But for you as a business owner, it just makes sense. That's one less bill that you have to incur, or raising your fee or raising your rates or whatever that you charge. You know, it just makes sense. But not everybody wants to do that way. And if they want to do traditional, I can still get them at a very low rate, a lot less than a lot of the big dogs out there. I just want to help businesses, and if I make $10 a month off of 1,000 people, that's what I want, rather than making $1,000 a month off of 10 people.
Well, and that's sort of the small business mentality, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Giver give what you can gain, or givers gain is part
Mhm.
of what we've all learned. So if I'm deciding that I want to start a small business
Mhm.
and I need a processing company,
Mhm.
what do I expect when we start that conversation?
Well, it's free. I don't charge. A business owner has ever paid me a dime. I make my money every time a card is swiped using my process. One thing we do is just have a chat, find out what the business owner wants their business to look like, not just for now, but for later down the road, so that I can help them make it scalable. This is what your business would look like if you were to eat the fees yourself. This is what you could expect if you were forwarding the fees on. How much that you can save each month, how much each year, or for 3 year savings. When business owners see what a 3 year savings and the processing costs look like, and that's when that light bulb moment goes on, and they're like, "Oh, yes, I think I should work with you."
There's the college tuition fund
Right.
for that kid that's in high school. So, but if we were going to meet for the first time and I really didn't have any experience in what I was doing, you and I could have a conversation about, do you want a machine sitting on a desk? Do you need a point of sale system? Are you going to do this e-commerce? So really kind of what I'm hearing is I need to kind of be able to tell you what I want to do, and then you can tell me how I can do that.
Exactly.
So I have to know what I want to do to be able to start the
And
conversation.
sometimes that's where the vision takes form about how they want their business to go and how they want it to look. And that's fine. And just walk them through the ease of, or some, pitfalls that they might encounter. Like, I don't know if you want to go with that one. Not too many people. I haven't heard any good things about that one. And just try to steer them right, all while getting them what they need and not upselling
Well, and as with everything in opening a business, it's
them.
an education process, right?
Very,
And
very
so
true.
what I'm hearing you say is that you're going to help them learn what the options are. You can't tell them how to run their business,
Nope.
but you can help them understand the difference between doing A and doing B.
Correct.
So the other thing that I find intriguing about this is the uniqueness of what you bring to the table. So you're a payment processing solution, so Paywise solutions, but it's based very individualistically
Mm.
on what each business you deal with is doing.
Yes.
So if it's somebody invoicing via email or QuickBooks or Xero or Sage or whatever platform they use, or if it's a restaurant,
Mhm.
the solutions vary from one business to the next.
Yes.
So,
A lot,
right.
actually.
If I'm a hairstylist and I rent a booth from somebody, what I need to do to be able to take payments from my customer is going to be different than if I have a coffee truck driving around
Mhm.
town, right? So that's the thing that intrigues me is the uniqueness of the solutions that you bring to the table for the variety of individual businesses that are out there.
And it's crazy enough, sometimes the same thing can be used for both the coffee truck driving around and the salon worker.
What
Kind of
we
thing.
should do is we should have a coffee truck with a hair salon.
Mm. Ooh,
And
there
then
you
we
go.
could drive around, fix hair.
There you go.
What it boils down to with so far every small business I've talked to is an individualization of approach. I think that's one of the things that I hear over and over again that a small business can bring because between on-site computer consulting and Paywise solutions, it's Rob and Ann,
Mhm.
or it's George and Sue, or it's Rob and Frank. It's not number 9,695 for the day and dial this number and you'll never get the same person twice.
Right.
That's the thing that I find that seems to be shining out as uh, a keystone or a marker of a small business. And that's why I think that's why everybody really needs small businesses in their life is we're the people that have a reason to do what we do every
Mhm.
day. We're not an employee of a company. We're trying to make our own company work, right?
Very true. Very true.
And so,
And that personal service,
right.
you can't go above that. They know if they have an issue with something that I'm gonna kick butt and take names and making sure that they get their white glove service. If I'm not happy with my processing partners, I've fired more than one. So I'm not scared of that.
Well, and that's, that is sort of how we stay alive
Mhm.
as a
Yeah.
small business. So you're in the Wentzville community, you're throughout kind of St. Charles County, maybe dabbling a little in Lincoln County, maybe a
Mhm.
little in Warren. So within our West County region or whatever the proper phrase is for all of us that live on this side of the Missouri River. And I realize you can go over into St. Louis County as well. But
I could actually go all 50 states. I mean, I talked with a fat burger out in Arizona. I've got solutions for everybody. Stuff is automatically shipped to them, and they have onboarding calls and teams, and they're walked through. They have their handheld any business on getting from point A to the end.
well, a solution is only worth how well you know how to use it.
That's very true.
So
Yes.
any solution you have. So how long has Paywise Solutions been in business?
And yeah, it's been great. It took a while. I had to realize that I'm not a salesperson. I'm not here to sell anybody anything. I'm a consultant. Basically, I'm like a relationship manager for the community. Don't have all the answers, but I do have teams that have all the answers. So that's one thing that I rely heavily on, is making sure that my teams are up to speed with what I'm out here doing and what I'm trying to create so that they have a great understanding of all the individuals I bring to them and say, hey, this is what this person is. This is what they want uh, what they want their processing to look like. And they take it from there. Everything comes back to me with a final, okay, well, so I'll submit this to the business owner and see what they think.
So one of the things that I have sort of learned about you as we've gotten to know each other
Mhm.
is that as you've grown, as the longevity of your company has increased, you partnered yourself or joined, whatever the proper word is, various things in the community to give back. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, we are partners with the CAC, the Child Advocacy Center. Andrea is actually an ambassador for them. We raised almost $3,500 back during our ribbon cutting, donated donations to the CAC. I finally found what I want to do when I grow up. Yeah.
The reality of it is, though, and one of the reasons why I asked is I think as, and this is my personal opinion, as a small business grows and gets a foothold in a community, I think it's important to give back to that community, right?
Yes.
That's one of the things that small businesses really excel at is the face with the name of the company, the giving back, the understanding how hard it is to succeed, how hard it is to grow, that's important for all small businesses. You don't have to do it in a way that costs you money, but you can do it in a way, go serve dinner on Thanksgiving Day at one of
Mhm.
the local pantries or one of the dinners. I mean, there's many, many ways to give back to a community that gives us so much. As small business owners, we earn our mortgage, we pay our rent, we feed our children, we do all of these things off of the community's backing of our business,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And so it's important to give some of that back to them. But tell me a story about what's the most bizarre thing that goes on in a day for you? What a behind the scenes moment.
Behind the scenes moment, most bizarre thing, because I've got to take time out,
Yeah.
and we've got a big dog that needs a lot of training. So stopping what I'm doing and making sure that give him a little bit of time, whether it's just walk around the block, whether it's actually going and through his actual training exercises and things like that. I did that right before I came here. Like, okay, I got to stop work. Got to go do that for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And before I head out the door.
So the dog thing cracks me up because we just adopted two rescued Yorkshire Terriers from, they were a breeder release and they're estimated to be about 7 years old. Yabba dabba do. I have vinyl plank flooring and
Yep.
these little dogs look like they've got a speed pedal on. I can't go fast enough. And then they go back and you'll see them actually try and cut the corner to go into the bedroom. And it's like, it's
It's
like
hilarious.
so yes, I understand because if I don't pay enough attention to them, I'm given gifts.
Right. Yeah. Catahoula leopard dog and maybe some lab, maybe a little bit of pit, who knows? But he looks like Scooby Doo. Yeah, our floors are trash. We're gonna have to find a floor person whenever we decide to upgrade or keep up with that because you can see scratches all across the floor, and
Great.
it's like great.
Yes, but I have to agree with you. That would be my this is what I have to stop my day for because if I don't,
Yeah.
I will have presents because these two little guys lived in a kennel cage all their life. So they have no idea what it means to go outside to go potty. What is this? Yeah.
That's always fun.
One last question I have for you.
Okay.
So, as a community of small businesses, I realize that it's business contacts that for your business are the most important, your business to business.
Mhm.
How do we find you? How do we reach out? And how do we help you make your business grow?
Well, paywisesolutions.net. That's our website. Phone number is 618-570-4993 or Rob at paywisesolutions.net.
Right. I know you're a member of the Western St. Charles County Chamber of Commerce, which is to me a great place to meet people and to do some networking. And I know you and I've had conversations about some of the other networking groups that you do.
Mhm.
And there are many of them, folks. If you're looking to grow your small business, networking is a wonderful thing. Just remember you can over network yourself and wear yourself out networking too much. Make good, strong contacts, make good, strong rapport. And remember, Paywise Solutions is there to help you set up your merchant services, to get payments flowing into your business, to make sure that you're getting paid for the services that you're providing and doing it at the least amount of money needed. And my ask from this podcast is if you know of a small business that being on this podcast would help. If you see Rob and you want to be part of this, Rob knows how to find me. And Rob, I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing that information with us. I think it's wonderful that there is someone out there to see to small businesses being able to get a payment resource that is a face-to-face contact, somebody that will answer the phone, which is this day and age amazing, and not transfer you 18 times when you have a problem.
Right. No, thank you for having me. I
You're
appreciate that. And we don't only just provide processing solutions as well. Again, just like you, we like to help businesses. Maybe they need this kind of person. Maybe they need labor force. Maybe they need to be in touch with somebody that's in a variation of their industry. We know people, and we like to connect people with other like-minded individuals. So,
right.
we come with lots of support, and we try to drive business through your business. That's what a lot of other bigger companies out there don't do, but that's what makes us stand apart.
So reach out if there's something that we can do to help you. Reach out to Paywise Solutions for the services that they involve. And remember, each of us that have been a small business for a while, OCCSI has been here 31 years. Paywise Solutions has been here 18 months, but I can guarantee you between us, we know a guy that knows a guy. So take care, everybody. Our next guest after Rob will be Linda Steyer of LB's General Store. I appreciate you watching us. Please share this with any small business that you think we could help. Take care.
Thank you.